Darby Allin is a nutcase, and I do not know if he will have a long career. I'm talking about that match from AEW Forbidden Door. The lights out, the lights out steel cage match. And you know what? Even though it was crazy, it was ridiculous and a little outrageous at times, I actually enjoyed that match. We had Team Darby Allin, versus John Moxley, and his gang. And, of course, the Young Bucks, they were there as well. But with Darby Allin, I like Darby Allin so much. I think he's super talented. He could just be a star, he really could. But I think with Darby Allin, he is going to get in his way because he wants to do all of this crazy stuff, these crazy stunts, and just things that don't make sense. And hey, I'm the kind of person I feel like there's a time and place for everything. And I just look at someone like Darby Allin with the risky moves that he performs. He's not going to have a long career, and he's going to have so many injuries and just so many problems if he keeps up at this pace. And the thing about it, I'm talking about that spot. The first thing with John Moxley. John Moxley was stabbing Darby Allin in the ear several times with a fork. Why are you stabbing someone? Why are you stabbing him? Why are you stabbing him? It doesn't make any sense. You can get some kind of infection. Why would you have someone stab you in your ear or stab you at all? It doesn't make any sense. And then we had that spot when Darby Allin and Gabe Kidd, when they were on top of the steel cage, and Gabe Kidd had Darby Allin in a chokehold, and Darby Allin, they had tables set up outside, and he jumped off pretty much. He jumped off of the top of the steel cage. And, that could have been really bad. And that landing, the way that they landed, they could have broken their necks. It looked like they were okay, but to me, it was a close call. And so I don't really get Darby Allin. I don't understand. And I feel like people like Darby Allin and some other wrestlers in AEW, that's where we should have restrictions. Because the thing is, I like these guys. I know these guys, they want to put on a show. Yes, we want to be entertained, but you have to know when to stop, when to slow down, when to pump the brakes. And someone like Darby Allin, if you don't have someone producing him, if you don't have someone telling him, like, yo, you can really be a huge star, but you have to take it easy. You have to slow down because one wrong move, you can really hurt yourself and things can go the wrong way. And I just don't want to see that happen. But so in this match, Darby Allin, his team won. They got the match, they won the match. And then, of course, we had the aftermath. Will Ospreay, he was in the ring and he was waving, thanking the fans. And then the Death Riders, they locked the cage and they beat up, they beat him up. They beat up Will Ospreay. Miss Marina, she climbed the cage, and Will Ospreay, his teammates, they were just outside of the cage. Why couldn't these guys think of the fact that they saw Marina climb the cage? Why couldn't they? So some interesting stuff. So Will Ospreay, he's going to be out for some time. He's dealing with a neck injury. So we shall see how things go. But AEW, they need to slow it down.